One. Hi guys, welcome to the F1 Debate Show, episode 21. Now in this episode we're going to be talking about some of the biggest news and headlines in the paddock between the Hungarian and the German Grand Prix, such as some transfer news and who's staying in Formula 1 and who's leaving for 2017, tyre compounds that have been chosen for the rest of the 2016 season. But firstly we're going to start off with reviewing, just quickly, our Hungarian Grand Prix. Now, as you know, we didn't get a video out on Sunday. Before we go into that, I do want to say that obviously I'm back in these videos,
back, guys.
And a big thank you to JT, who did the Hungarian Grand Prix, all the videos, including the F1 Debate Show, and also Thursday's preview of Germany on his own. Obviously, because I had other commitments to do, which is great. And it's also great to know that if one person has problems, the other person can step in. So a big thank you to JT, and I hope you give him all the praise because he's done some amazing videos. They are really, really great. You can find them all on our YouTube, and we also share them on Facebook.
Thank you, thank you very much, Elsie.
You're very welcome, JT. So to start off this video, we're going to be reviewing Hungary, the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it was if you've seen that video that JT did on our channel, then you'll know that it was maybe not the best.
No, it wasn't.
Out of 10, I'd give it a 2.
I wouldn't even consider rating it. It was that bad.
But the first thing to mention though, JT, which obviously is great for us, Hamilton fans and Brits and Mercedes fans, is that Hamilton is now the leader of the World Championship. Now it is strange. We are so far into the season and he has become the leader. But yep, he has taken over Nico, the man who once had 7 victories in a row, who won the first 4 races of the season and had a massive 40+ lead. And yeah, Lewis, the reigning champion from 2015, is back in the lead. And JT, what do you make of this?
I think it's absolutely fantastic, if I'm honest. I mean, Rosberg thrown away a 43-point lead. It's just unheard of these days, you know what I mean? He was so comfortable in his stride at the start of the season. Now, all of a sudden, as like I said before, he's only won 1 race since the turn of the Spanish Grand Prix. So, again, it just proves how much focus Rosberg has lost. And I think we are going to be in for a very close championship fight, if I'm honest, due to the fact now Hamilton has overtook Rosberg. He now leads the championship by 6 points. And obviously due to the fact about this Grand Prix, it was a pretty boring Grand Prix, so it wasn't exactly anything exciting. But Rosberg did have the upper hand by going on pole position, but on very controversial circumstances. Let's not forget, lifting off very massively in Sector 2 apparently, but that's another story. But yeah, so Rosberg has just now lost that lead. He'll be kicking himself right now, and I think it's going to be a very close fight between these two. I think we are going to see a lot of reminiscence of 2014, especially Bahrain and Spa, if I'm honest. It's going to be close. It's going to be great. This Grand Prix is going to be fantastic, the German Grand Prix. But for this Grand Prix, it wasn't exactly the best of fights for those two. Very bored. It was very sluggish. But that's Hungary for you. It was a pretty boring race, if I'm honest.
But aren't they done with all the fighting now? Like as you said, Spa 14, and obviously more recently Spain 16. They should be done with all this scrappy fighting. But yeah. Do you think it's hurt Rosberg's mentality now, knowing that he's lost the lead? And as I say, his last win was Europe, which was early June.
So it is going to have a massive effect on his performances, because he knows that in the back of his mind, he'll be obviously on the outside. He will be saying, "Look, I'm not here. I'm not thinking about the championship and such and such." But if you've been behind Lewis Hamilton for 2 years and you've been gunning for the championship, and you've been in the championship winning car, then you obviously are going to think about the championship, and you've lost it in the past 2 years, and then this season, you got it given to you on a plate, and then all of a sudden you've just thrown it away. So it is going to play on his mind, and maybe I think the Spanish accident is maybe as like you said, lost Rosberg's confidence in a way in the Formula 1 car. And yes, he won Baku, but that was all because Lewis Hamilton had problems with his car. So I think that's how he won that race. So I think Rosberg does need to concentrate this, not only this week, but he needs to concentrate through the summer and then come back even stronger for Belgium and obviously towards the end of the season. Everyone's saying now, Rosberg might not win the championship, he won't win the championship, all these pundits and everything just, saying slating Rosberg in a way, whereas like, at the start of the season, they were slating Hamilton, so it's, it's not really fair. And then also, again, the media side of things, it's not going to help Rosberg in a way, but I think he's professional enough to, to actually get down, grind, focus, get that lead back and, put Lewis Hamilton in his place. So, You know, that's pretty much it. You know, yeah.
Yeah. It would be good to see, but now we know that Hamilton is in the leader as he has been for the previous 2 years, but he still is in reach and distance. So Rosberg can get him, and obviously everyone else is still in for a play as well. As I said, when you look at the table, I would say at the moment you're probably looking at around, I'd say, 7th place Valtteri Bottas upwards. Even Bottas has got a chance of, I mean, don't mean winning the World Championship, but taking the fight, obviously, to the leader of the championship. I don't know, he just feels like it's in that point, and compare it to 2015 and 2014, when Lewis would have just ran off into the distance with just, you know, unhumane points. You know, no one would have been able to catch him.
But, no, I mean, yes, Grand Prix wasn't good. Yes, the fight wasn't good, but championship fight otherwise it's going to be very, very close. But also what I think was even closer is the place from 3rd to 6th. You've got Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Vettel and Verstappen. 5 points between them gunning for 3rd. And I put in a post on my other page I'm on, F1 for Life, and I said who's going to get 3rd place, and I said it's going to be Verstappen because of his performances, you know, and the confidence he's got and the ability he has. He's got a good car. I think he's got a better car than the Ferraris at the moment, because I've been slating Ferrari for the past couple of weeks, as we all know. And, you know, he has that mature status to actually go on and beat those drivers. 5th place in Hungary wasn't exactly, you know, a drive to remember. 4th in qualifying, 5th in the race. So, exactly, it wasn't exactly a race to remember. To be fair, there wasn't really a lot to talk about in this Grand Prix, apart from Jensen Button's, you know, weird communications over the team radio. But we'll move on to that a bit later on. But I mean, Max Verstappen is currently 6th in the drivers' standings. He can go higher. I think he is driver to finish 3rd, because both Ferraris right now are just shocking. If I'm honest, you know, strategy wise is out the window. I think Vettel is losing confidence in the team, race by race. Raikkonen is just here and there and gets good results every now and then. I mean, yes, Vettel didn't have a very good start of the season, getting hit by Denny Kivat not only once but twice. Had that engine problem in Bahrain, so it hasn't really gone his way. But he is on a rise at the moment. Whether he win another Grand Prix or not, I really don't know. And, you know, Kimi Raikkonen, on the other hand, yes, he hasn't won a Grand Prix. Got a couple of podiums as well. He has been on 3rd place as well. But I don't think he has got the ability and the consistency to actually go on to finish 3rd. So for me is Max Verstappen. So I'll see. I mean, yes, this fight from 3rd to 6th. It's not really something that, you know, the media are going to talk about, but for us F1 fans, 3rd place, that's like the next best thing. Because obviously the Team Mercedes are pretty much, they've sorted 1st and 2nd, so now 3rd place is the best of the rest, so better than 4th, better than 5th. Obviously. Well,
JT, I would really like Max Verstappen to finish in that kind of position. But I like it how it is at the moment, how one Red Bull, one of my guys, is in 3rd place at the moment. Daniel Ricciardo. What? I'm sorry. I actually was going to say Fiat. I'm so sorry. We'll get into Fiat in a bit later, because God, he'll be one of the most talked about people in this video. Sorry, Ricciardo. Now he needs this because he has fell foul to Max. The biggest thing that Daniel doesn't have this year, and Max does, and what's that, JT? A race win. Max has a race win. It must be, I don't know how Daniel looks at it, but I mean, does he kind of look at it and think it's embarrassing that an 18-year-old has one race win? And it's not just an 18-year-old's race win, JT, that makes it sweet. The sweetest part about it is that he won in his very first race with Red Bull. I mean, I think that's the bit that everyone can't get their heads around. I can't get my head around. And that's what almost made you cry when you saw him cross the line. That was his first race win. That was his first race win. But with Red Bull, though, you know what I mean? I don't think it was an 18-year-old, but I think it was just the first win with Red Bull. So Daniel is top trump by Max at the moment, and I think Daniel needs this in 3rd place. I think if he can get onto the podium of the World Championship, then that would be great for him, and that's what he needs. Providing that, I mean, you think about it, his last victory in Formula 1 was the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix, so that might... You know, I mean, that's the race coming up after the summer break, after Germany. So then, if he doesn't win there, you know, he could go winless this season. But would he rather finish 3rd in the World Championship, or get a win and drop lower? I know it sounds a bit stupid, but you know, what would he weigh up, what's more
Exactly.
important.
I mean, probably for himself finishing third, because I think I think you get like an extra bonus on your contract. It depends where you finish. Same with the team as well, second or third.
Yeah.
Obviously, Red Bull will be wanting second. They can challenge the Ferrari for second, and obviously if they finish second, they get extra money and all that malarkey. But I think Ricciardo will want a race win. He has got the ability, and he has got the talent. He's got a better car than he did last season. I think he's got a better car than 2014, if I'm honest. It's just that the Mercedes are just too strong this season. So I think this is the best car Red Bull have provided Ricciardo. It's just that he hasn't had the time and any race to actually show that. And I think that everyone's going to be like criticising Ricciardo a little bit, saying everyone's like praising him. Then all of a sudden he goes winless in 2 seasons, 2 years, let's say. So there shouldn't be too much like that on Ricciardo. I mean, to be third, it is fantastic, beating other world champions like Alonso, Button, Vettel as well. So and Raikkonen, so he's up there again. So that's fantastic. And also he is ahead of Verstappen, because Verstappen was at a slower team at the start of the season for the first 4 races. He came into Red Bull and sort of condoled his place straight away, cemented his place in Red Bull, basically saying, Ricciardo, I'm no pushover. A bit like when Ricciardo went to Red Bull with Vettel.
JT, where do you think Max Verstappen would be in the championship? Say that he started the season with Red Bull. Where do you think he would be in the season? How many points do you think he would have?
Let's have a think. I don't think he would have. I think you don't. Wait, I'll start that again. I don't think he would have won. He would have won a Grand Prix before Spain, because both Mercedes had to retire for him allow him to win the race. But I think he would have been higher than where he is. I think he would have been about third. About I would say it would be third, maybe fourth, very close to Daniel Ricciardo. It would be nice to see.
And that's only 50 extra points. That's only 15 extra points. Could he have got that in 4 races? I think he could have.
Exactly. It's all to play for. And I think they were saying if the season had started like when Verstappen won that race in Spain, I think he would be second. I think they said. So again, that just proves since moving to Red Bull, that's how how quickly matured he's all of a sudden went. Because I mean, it's a massive jump. I mean, it was a massive jump going from, I think it was in Formula 3 to Formula 1, like at the age of 17. So that was a massive jump. Then going from a team like Toro Rosso to a team like Red Bull, almost straight away mid-season. He's 1 minute he's preparing with Toro Rosso, then all of a sudden he's got to do that all over again with Red Bull. He's got to learn the car and everything. And he goes on to win the race. So that just proves how much maturity he can show in a very short space of time. And again, that will show it. That will show it in the future. And I mean, obviously, everyone knows how talented Max Verstappen is, and it's just obviously now the season is just all a question of ifs and buts and what ifs and stuff. I think next season will definitely show how mature Verstappen can be, and let's say Red Bull do provide him a better car and a faster car, maybe then he can challenge Rosberg and Hamilton for the title, which
possibly that would be great to see.
Unbelievable to see.
It'd be great to see a Red Bull domination, but I mean, would people slow? The last thing on Verstappen and JT, just very quickly, do you think people would grow to hate Verstappen like they did Vettel when he was at
possibly,
Red Bull?
because everyone was ranting and raving about Vettel, especially when he won in Monza in 2008. Everyone was like, here's going to be the next big thing. Then when he started dominating, it was like, it was boring and stuff. Then Hamilton started slating Vettel, saying that F1's boring with the same guy winning all the time. Then Hamilton goes on to win all the races, and then again, a bit like when Hamilton was like at McLaren, everyone felt sorry for him because of the amount of bad luck he had. And I think Verstappen will get the same sort of reception should he start dominating the races. So I am expecting a lot of hate from Verstappen. And just one drive I wanted to briefly mention. I said briefly again. I keep saying briefly. Sorry, guys. I said the last video. I keep saying briefly, but me. I'm judging.
If you've seen the preview of Germany, you'll know why JT doesn't
I keep saying briefly, but quickly. Is Julian Palmer, because I mean he was in P10, then he was going up to the blind left-hander where Massa had his crash in 09, and he spins. And I've been slating Renault a lot this season. I created quite a bit of memes about them, and even I felt heartbroken in a way, because it was like, you know what I mean? Because it's like you're so close to getting Palmer's first points in F1, and then he loses it, and you're like, oh man, what else can go wrong for Renault? You know what I mean? They have stated this week that apparently that they are happy with the drivers, the current drivers they've got. But we are going to make a 2017 prediction, driver prediction video very soon, so we are going to keep it hush as to who we think is going to go where. I think there will be changes at Renault. I'm not going to tell you who I think is going to be there after that video, but I think there will be changes, even though they have stated that the relationship is strong between those two. But I mean, Johnny Palmer P12, that's good for Renault, but it's not as good as scoring points. So I mean, sorry, Renault.
I think the thing with Renault GT is, I mean, it's only my opinion, but I think that the drivers are absolutely fine. I think they're skilled, and I think if you put them in a better car, they would do amazing. I think it's just team problems that they're having, not driver problems. And I've got to say for 2017, I mean, again, we're keeping it hush, you know, when we bring out our 2017 driver predictions, we will keep it obviously under the radar until we release it. But I've got to say that I think Renault's drivers are more or less signed. I mean, K-Mag's a great name to have in Formula 1. Palmer, I mean, maybe he's a bit like Fiat. There's a bit of grey cloud around him. But anyway, K-Mag, I think he will definitely be in Formula 1, and definitely with Renault for next season. Anyway, so that is the end of our Hungarian Grand Prix review. But one thing, JT, which we've got to do, and we didn't do it on Sunday, of course, because we didn't do a video, is to award the Driver of the Day award for Hungary. Now, this goes to a man. Remember, you've got to try and guess before we release it. I don't know why I did that. That's Stat Attack. We'll give some stats because I did that. So you've got to try and guess who it is. This man he's old. He's a world champion. He's an ex-world champion. He goes well around this circuit. He has a beard. He drives for a British team that JT is wearing. And, more importantly, the most important thing, I predicted him to finish. Actually, yes, I predicted him to finish in the position that he came in. So that's amazing. And it is. Can you guess who it is yet out there? JT, would you please tell our lovely audience?
It's Fernando Alonso, Mr. P7 of Hungary. Absolutely fantastic.
Well done.
There you go, Alonso. That is coming your way. And I think has Jensen Button won it? Has Jensen Button won? I'm not too. No. I can't remember if
there's only one British person who's won it, and that's Lewis Hamilton.
I was thinking, because when we awarded to Alonso, I was thinking, hang on, have we awarded this award to 3 different drivers from the same team? Because obviously Van Dorn got it.
So 2 McLaren drivers have got it.
Bear in mind that everyone's criticising this season, but you can't win this award for nothing, because, well, it was going to be very close, and I was going for Kimi Räikkönen, but we thought then, well, Alonso finishing P7, plus both McLarens got in Q3 for the first time in a couple of years. That was great. And Alonso scoring points, which I think that was only his 3rd occasion this season where he scored points. So massive achievement. So there we go, Fernando Alonso. He did, however, send us a message as always. He says, "Thank you very much, LC and JT. It was a bit of a shame not to see the review for me to get the award, but I'm pretty sure I can't wait for the preview of the German Grand Prix. I will be gunning for some points as well, and it's also good to see LC back. So there we go, LC. You've got a fan of Fernando Alonso."
Thank you, Fernando.
So there we go. By the way, Fernando, I've texted back saying Fernando is faster than you. I should be saying that to Massa actually. So obviously, I did briefly say that in the preview about Fernando is faster than you. very famous quote at this Grand Prix this weekend.
It is, and this is a Grand Prix that he said it at.
Exactly.
2010, Hockenheim 2010 was the Fernando from Rob Smedley, who is from Yorkshire. Fernando is faster than you. Please repeat, something like, please confirm that you heard this message. He didn't, or maybe he did, but he was very annoyed about it. Which I mean, you would.
It was pretty awkward. It was a good moment though. It's just like, it's like Fernando is faster than you. Confirm you understood the message, and he just says nothing. It's like
it is a very standout moment when you think Germany. You think of that moment. But I'll tell you, JT, I don't know why. Just quickly, I don't know why this always sticks in my mind. But the only memory there's 2 memories I have of Germany in recent years. The first one is Sebastian Vettel's illegal overtake of Jensen Button in 2012. After that hairpin. And the second one, for some reason, is Nico Rosberg getting his helmet design banned in 2014 because he had the FIFA World Cup on, obviously for Germany, who won the FIFA World Cup in 2014 in Brazil. He had that design and he got that banned for some reason. I
think that was on copyright issues, wasn't it, or something like that? Because obviously, I don't think the FIA were too happy about that or something like that.
No, No.
I think, yeah.
No, it's
I think you got 4 stars instead because that was the 4th time they won the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I think you got 4 stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of the World Cup. But so there we go. Yeah. Don't design your helmet based on football. But briefly, since we're talking about we're briefly talking about Ferrari, there's something that came
briefly.
I'm going, guys. I'm now call this the F1 Briefly Debate Show, where we briefly talk about briefly stuff in the briefly news about briefly GT and briefly LC.
Briefly.
So yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Briefly.
Right, I know. I'll tell you. But every time I say briefly, from now on, I will donate £1 to charity. There we go. How nice, eh? How nice.
I like that.
Right, so we're going to talk about James Allison, who, obviously is a massive figure in Ferrari of the technical director. Due to unfortunate circumstances, his wife passed away at the start of the season, and there was a bit of a questions over his future at Ferrari. And it just surprisingly came out this week that he has actually left. And I did say in the preview that it could be that could be because of his wife's passing, and could be spending more time with his family. And then I seen about a few hours ago that apparently he could be going to either Williams or McLaren, which would be very good for either of them, more McLaren than Williams, unless Williams are planning this new project where Button could go to Williams and then Allison is going to Williams, and then they could build up to what they used to be, or maybe McLaren could be doing exactly the same. I don't really know, but I think for me, the people who are actually going to be affected the most is Ferrari on this, because he's been such a massive figure in the Ferrari, in the Ferrari paddock, and now he's gone. I think that's just, I think that's very bad for Ferrari. You know what I mean? And this is the last thing they need, because I think Ferrari are in a little bit of a crisis, going so far, and this is bad. This is awful. I mean, what's your take on this, LC?
I mean, it is very bad. He's one of the best figures to see in Formula 1. He is an Adrian Newey. He is so amazing. But Martin Whitmarsh, if you don't know who that is, he is one of my all-time favourite ex-team principals. But anyway, James Allison, what a great person he is. A great man at Ferrari to see. It will be a massive loss for them. A bit like when Adrian Newey left McLaren, as you said in the preview. When Adrian Newey left McLaren, obviously that was a massive hurt for them. Obviously they went... Well, I mean, they kind of fell off the radar for a good few years. And maybe that'll happen to Ferrari, maybe not, but it's going to be a massive loss for them. And it is sad to see him go because, again, he's a great figure to see in the paddock. Just, someone to see. It's like, if you go to a Grand Prix, take pictures of, he's great to see. It'd just be a real shame, a real loss for Formula 1. That another great name's dropping out.
Exactly. Well, he was with Ferrari at once, then he went to Lotus for a bit. And then he rejoined Ferrari 3 years ago, and again now he's left, and he could be going elsewhere. I'd like to see him go to McLaren, but I think he'll go next year, because I think he might go back to England, spend some time with his family, and then maybe regroup and then go off, and do other things as well. But again, just as you briefly mentioned, Ferrari is that Ross Brawn could be coming. Was reported that Ross Brawn could be coming back to Ferrari. However, he has declined that, which is a bit of a shame, because I would like to see Ross Brawn back in the paddock. Obviously, he was with Ferrari throughout the massive successful years. Yeah, he formed his own team. He went to Mercedes. He kind of set the stepping stones throughout there. Yeah, to where they are now. Left, and now he hasn't been back ever since. He said that he would like to return to Formula 1, but he hasn't really said anything. There was rumour that he's going to Ferrari. That is actually now not happening. So again, come on, Ross Brawn. I'll tell you what, Ross Brawn. The F1 Debate Show. Come on, the F1 Debate Show.
RB. RB. That's jinx.
Would you consider it?
Great. He was an amazing person. I mean, he was great at Ferrari, but I mean, I just can't get over the fact that for two things. One, that he created a team in 1 year, and they won the World Championship. Obviously, they dominated. Obviously, Rubens and Jensen dominated, and then also as well, he built Mercedes. He didn't just have an involvement with Mercedes. He built Mercedes. He built them. He brought them from he collected their 50-year-old ashes. He built them. He got the cars. He got two amazing drivers. Obviously, Rosberg, just a rookie at that point. Obviously, Schumacher, 7-time world champion, coming back into Formula 1. So he built Mercedes, and now obviously they didn't win in the years that he was. They didn't win the championship in the years that he was at Mercedes. Obviously got Hamilton in. I know Lauda says he got him. Lauda says
he always quotes like, I got Hamilton in. It's like, Who about
Yeah,
you?
but no, Ross Brawn will have. He's the team.
He would have
principal.
approved that
He was
deal.
the one who looks
He
like
would have. He would have said, "I want Hamilton."
Yeah, but anyway, still, you know, obviously Ross Brawn built Mercedes to get their first win in China, to their first. I still class it as an allowed pole in Monaco 2012. Obviously with Schumacher. To obviously, just leaving out, and then obviously leaving with an amazing legacy in Mercedes, and obviously that means they could go on to win 14, 15, and possibly 16 with amazing teams and amazing drivers. So I mean, you know, he built Mercedes, and I mean, huge respect. Hats off to this guy. He's an amazing person. Hats off. He's an amazing person. Ferrari lads.
Ferrari Macron.
It would be great to see. I mean, Ferrari as well, yeah. It'd be great to see him back in the paddock, JT. And I mean, yeah. There's not more to say about it. We love legends in Formula One, and he's a great one to see. But the next thing I want to mention for the rest of the season is the tyre compounds. And I've always been mentioning these loosely in F1 Debate Show episodes. I'm just going to list off from Germany onwards till the last race in Abu Dhabi and the tyre compounds. So for Germany, as you know, it is the super soft tyres, the soft and the mediums. For Belgium, it is the super soft, soft and the medium. For Italy, it is super soft, soft and medium. For Singapore, it is ultra soft, super soft and soft. For Malaysia, it is soft, medium and hard. Japan is also soft, medium and hard. The United States Grand Prix is super soft, soft and medium. Mexico is super soft, soft and medium, as the same as the US Grand Prix. The soft, the medium and the hard is for Brazil, and the last race of the season in Abu Dhabi sees the ultra soft tyre, the super soft and the soft. So there we go, that's the take home. I don't have to mention it ever again.
Wow.
And, yeah, it's great. Do you know what? I love these tyres, Jay. I mean, I'm not going to ask your opinion because they're only tyres at the end of the day, but I just love the kind of, you know, the anticipation. We never had this in previous years, did we? Like, looking forward. I actually look forward to getting tyre compounds. It's great, isn't it, JT? It just adds another, like, thrill into Formula 1.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, when I think when Bridgestone had the tyres, they only had two different compounds. They had the softs and the hards. And then Pirelli came in. They introduced, you know, the softs, mediums, and hards, and all that. And now obviously they've got the ultra softs. And then I think that the best thing that they've actually done is actually got three different compounds, which I think it's just made everything great about this season. If I'm honest, like three different compounds in one race instead of two, it just opens up strategies massively, and it just, you know, teams can feel free to do what they want. I think that is probably, you know, decisions recently in Formula 1 have not gone the fans' way, but I think this is probably the best decision the FIA have, Pirelli and everyone, the head governing body of Formula 1, have actually made.
And letting the drivers decide.
Yeah, the drivers decide what they want.
The teams might give them advice, but the drivers choose their tyres. I think they're going to make another one, and I've got a feeling, JT, for next year or for 2018, I've got a feeling that Pirelli are going to make a wet weather tyre, because there's been a lot of times when drivers have said, you know, it's too wet for inters and it's too dry for wets. What do? You merge intermediate and a wet together, so where you make one super compound. But that's what they're going to do, and that's what make Formula 1 great as well. I love the tyres. I love our anticipation.
Yeah, that would be great to see, like, you know, maybe like a faster sort of a wet tyre, just to make, you know, the racing even better, because as you said, there isn't much what you can do when it's absolutely, you know, when it's changing conditions in the rain, because 1 minute it's really wet, so then you go on the wet, and you go on the intermediate tyres, but then you might not be ready on the intermediate tyres, and then your tyres get worn out, so it is bad. That would be really, I think that would be good to see. I think that, what colour would that be? That might be a pink or something like that. That'd be a good colour, that. Pink. A pink covered wall tyre.
Or, what colour hasn't been used?
Yellow's the softs.
Yellow's in.
They used to have the silver for the hards.
Silver.
That was nice.
That's cool. That is cool. So there we go, guys. Out there, you decide what colour will the new compound be for Pirelli, and also if you want to name it as
multicoloured.
The interwets, the ultra intermediates. I don't know. The ultra. That is a cool name. That is really cool.
Introduce the ultra wets.
Yeah, Bernie Eccleston, if you're watching this, I mean, you know, you're going to leave your day job soon, so come on, don't be on the F1 picture. We don't want you. We don't want BE. We want
JB, not BE.
We want JB. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this F1 debate show. Please make sure to like and subscribe and do all